welcome back to my channel and to a new video. And today I thought I would do a different sort of a haul. It's a haul in that I'm going to show you things that I have bought, but they're not necessarily all new things. A lot of them are fairly new actually, but things that I would consider to be my top 10 Amazon best buys. I love buying things from Amazon. I think in general stuff is really good value. I love the fact that I can get it next day. We have Amazon Prime, which we actually get for free through our life insurance. Try Vitality, not an ad, but we get free Amazon Prime with them, which is obviously saving us quite a bit of money anyway. But yeah, Amazon is my go-to if I need anything, whether it be, you know, music for the kids, for their music lessons, whether it be dance clothes for Phoebe, whether it's electronics, anything. Amazon will always be my go-to. We did notice throughout lockdown that prices did go up a little bit, and I guess that's to be expected, supply and demand and all that, but we definitely relied on them through that sort of 3 or 4 months while the shops were all closed. And to be honest, we still do. We would rather purchase something that can be delivered to the door the next day than have to go out shopping to buy it. So yeah, Amazon is a lifesaver and I love it. And there are lots of things that I've bought there, and I thought I would show you really the top 10 things that I have bought over the last, well, all of these being purchased within the last 6 months. So, or year maybe. And yeah, share those with you, from expensive things to really, really cheap things. So what should we start with? Let's start with my sonic scrubber. So if you watch Mrs. Hinch, you will know that she uses this sonic scrubber. I think she calls him Stuart, and I cannot remember how much he was, so I'm going to link everything below, and I'll put it on the screen here when I edit the video so you can see how much it was when I bought it. But yeah, this is a really good item for cleaning. As you know, I love to clean, and this is great for doing your grout, for doing limescale around your taps, for around the little bits that are really hard to get to. There are 4 different heads for it, so it's basically like an electric toothbrush but for cleaning. And to be honest, when I first saw her use this, I thought that's really good, but I was put off because it is battery operated, and I thought, oh, the batteries are never going to last very long, it's always going to run out. So I went to Argos and I bought a much bigger one, a really big one that charges in the wall, like rechargeable one. And I used it once, and then I think I never used it again, because it's big, it's cumbersome, it's a hassle, it's quite heavy to use, it doesn't get into all the little places that I needed it to get into, and yeah, it was definitely a waste of money. This, however, I use every time I clean. I can just keep it in my little cleaning basket that I use, and I get it out and I scrub, and it's been really, really good. So yeah, I thoroughly recommend this sonic scrubber, and yeah, if you love to clean, get yourself one. Right, next I'm going to go on to this, which is actually a very new purchase, and this is just a protein shaker. I actually bought 2. I bought one for myself, this is mine, and one for Andrew. He's got a black one. They come in all different colours, but I have recently started drinking protein shakes after my workout in the morning, just to keep me more full throughout the morning, because I found as I was working out, I was wanting to eat more. I've always been this way. I can't lose weight when I work out because I'm just hungry all the time. And not that I particularly want to lose weight, but I also don't want to put it on. Just I'm working out, I'm probably eating double. So I thought by having a protein shake in the mornings with my breakfast would keep me fuller for longer, and it's working a treat. But this is the blender bottle, and I like this because it has, open it up, it has a little whisk inside. Now Andrew had a protein shaker, and he found that the protein shake was always clogging up at the bottom and in the lid, and it just wasn't mixing up properly, and he'd shake it and shake it and shake it and shake it, and it still wouldn't mix. So I got these with a little whisk inside, and they are fab. Really, really good. I think you can get them in the bigger size. These are the smallish ones because this is all we need, but as I said, you get them in loads of different colours. These are 400 mils. And are great. So if you drink protein shakes and you find that they clog up, then get yourself one of these with a little whisk inside. They're great. Something else I've bought recently, and to keep my daughter Phoebe amused during lockdown, is these. And these are acrylic painter pens. So I got these on Amazon because I'd seen lots of people doing rock painting with their children during the time off school, and it just gave her something. I wanted something different for her to do that wasn't just colouring, but that also wasn't schoolwork. And actually school have asked the children to paint rocks as well, so she's managed to do a couple and take them into school. But I thought paints are great, but you need to have quite good brush skills to be able to paint a rock or a beautiful pattern on a rock and it looked good. So I thought pens would be slightly better, and they have been brilliant. I'll put a little clip in here of the rocks that she has painted, and Archie's done some too, but they are brilliant. So they're just pens. They are not too fine nibbed, they're quite thick, but they have lasted really well. And something that I am really surprised about, I thought once we painted them we would need to put some sort of varnish on the rocks because they're in the garden, and I thought when it rains they're just going to wash off, and I'd forgotten to do anything about it, and they'd been out in the garden and it's rained, and I was expecting them all to be ruined, but they have all remained completely intact. The designs are as clear as they were when she first painted them. They have not washed off at all, and I'm really, really pleased. So we put no varnish on, and all we had to do was use the paints on the rock, and they've done really well. So we had some rocks that we bought to fill in a couple of areas in the garden where there was no grass and just a bit of rough ground. So I bought some really big cobbles, and both children have been busy painting at those, so they look beautiful now, and they're all designed and they'll be there hopefully for years. So yeah, I can thoroughly recommend those, and I love them just because they're pens and not paint as such. Much easier for children to use. Okay, next up is a much more expensive item, and something I actually bought for Andrew for Christmas. Was it Christmas? I think it was Christmas. It might have been his birthday. They're around the same time. Anyway, I bought it for him. So about a year ago, Andrew started drinking coffee for the first time. He'd never drunk coffee before. He discovered that he quite liked a flat white and has really got into drinking coffee, and decided, and we worked out actually after a while, we were spending a lot of money on buying coffees out and about, and it was becoming a bit ridiculous. So we decided that investing in a good coffee machine would be a better use of our money than constantly going out and buying Costas and Starbucks. And we still get Costa and Starbucks occasionally, but nowhere near as often as we used to. And this has been particularly useful over the last 4 months when Costa and Starbucks have been closed, and we have been able to still enjoy lovely cups of coffee at home. So we bought this machine. I'm going to just show you a little cutaway, because I obviously can't bring it up here to show you because it's a big machine. And we have been so happy with it. It did break down once, but that was purely just because it needed descaling, and we hadn't realised, we just hadn't quite done it well enough. And we rang Sage and they gave us some information on what we needed, and it worked perfectly again. So we have been so happy with it. It makes brilliant coffee. We wanted a bean to cup machine because there is less effect on the environment, because you don't have the pods and things to worry about. It is a bit more of a faff to make a coffee. It's not a matter of just sticking a pod in and off you go. You do have to physically make it and do the whole barista thing, but actually that's quite good fun. Andrew's taken a lot of time and effort to learn how to make a good cup of coffee, the weight of the beans you need to use. There's loads of videos on YouTube about how to do it, and we love making our coffees. And I've bought some of the syrups from Home Sense TK Maxx to enjoy, and yeah, it's been probably the best money I've spent on a birthday present ever, because it has been used so much and we've really, really appreciated it over the last few months. So if you drink a lot of coffee, it's probably worth looking at. A colleague of mine recently worked out how much money she was spending in Starbucks every month, and it shocked her. Most of us probably have, if we've still been working and what have you, and you've still got your normal income, you've probably realised how much you've saved while the shops have been closed and you've not been able to go out and about. And one of those things for a lot of people has been the coffees that they often have. So getting a coffee machine can sometimes be a really good investment if you drink a lot of coffee. Then along with that coffee machine, actually I got this for Andrew for Father's Day this year, is this little set of scales. So we had a normal set of kitchen scales that Andrew was weighing his coffee beans on before he put them in, and he just couldn't always get it right, and he said, I'm sure these scales aren't really that accurate. And I said, yeah, they're fine. So anyway, he said, could I have some more accurate ones? So I got these, and these measure up to 0.01 grams, whereas our others were just like 0.1 or 1. I don't even think they did a decimal. Anyway, they didn't weigh as accurately as these, and these go like to, yeah, as I say, to 0.01 of a gram, and so we can get the exact amount of coffee beans, and they are perfect, and they're so little. You get them in all different colours, and they're really small, and so they can sit nicely next to the machine. In fact, I've got a little basket next to the machine which has the coffee beans in it and the scales and a little pot that we pour the coffee into. And they've been really, really good. I can thoroughly recommend them. Andrew raves about them every time he uses them. These are so great, they're wonderful. Small things and all that. So yeah, I thoroughly recommend these. So if you're going to get a coffee machine, get yourself a little set of scales to go with them. The next thing I wanted to talk about was some wardrobe storage that I bought. I will put a little cutaway here again because I can't bring it down here to show you. But when I did, I think it was Phoebe's bedroom tour video, I talked about the wardrobe that we bought her had these sort of big cubby holes in them, and we had put baskets in there, but clothes just got lost at the bottom of the baskets. They weren't, she couldn't find stuff that she needed to wear, and I needed a solution, and I couldn't find anything anywhere. I was searching and searching, and I went on Amazon and I found eventually these drawers. So they are basically sort of 2 plastic baskets on top of each other that then pull out. So it's just like a set of drawers within a wardrobe, but they're open-ended, so she can just chuck stuff in. And I mean, to be honest, 9 times out of 10 it is such a mess in her wardrobe because I say clean your room, she just chucks it all in there. But she can pull stuff out, so it's much easier for her to see what she's got. I was just finding, yeah, stuff was just not getting worn, and there were things that still had tags on that she'd grown out of because they were at the bottom of baskets that she just never bothered to find. She just picked up the same stuff each time. So these have been so good, and yeah, I would thoroughly recommend them. I think they come in different colours, maybe grey, cream, and they also come in different sizes, and also you can bulk buy, so you can get loads all together. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with these, and may get some more. The next thing I want to talk about is another thing that I mentioned in a video. So I talked about Archie's hay fever and how he was struggling so much, and I bought some different hay fever tablets. I think it was in a Home Bargains haul. They didn't make any difference. He does sort of supplement everything. So he uses a nasal spray, he uses hay fever tablets. I think next year, I mean, we're coming to the end of sort of hay fever season now, so we'll let this one run its course, but I think next year we're going to make an appointment early with the doctor so we can get something a bit stronger for him, because the normal stuff just doesn't work as well. However, I did go onto Amazon and purchase a air purifier for his bedroom. Now this was only a cheap one. There are much more expensive ones that you can get, but I really didn't want to spend out a load of money on something that may or may not work. I read the reviews on them all, and this one had lots of positive reviews. I don't think it would ever work on its own. It's quite small. He has it next to his bed, and we have it switched on all the time, so it filters the air in his room. I don't think it would work on its own. However, he was having nights where he was not sleeping at all. He was taking a nasal spray, he was taking antihistamines, and yet was still up all night with bunged up and sneezing and not able to breathe. And you know, had he been taking his GCSEs this year, which he should have been, he would have really struggled. So I went on and I bought this dehumidifier and had it by his bed, and along with the antihistamines and the nasal spray, he is at last getting some good night's sleep. As I say, I don't think it would work on its own, but along with the others. So if you're finding that you are taking antihistamines and nasal sprays and still not sleeping at night, it might be worth purchasing an air purifier. Go on, have a look. There are so many different types and designs and costs. There are cheaper ones than the one we bought. There are way more expensive ones than the one we bought. So I just thought, well, if this one works, we might get a couple to put around the house next year that help him as well. I used to suffer with hay fever. I don't anymore. I do think it's something that you sometimes grow out of. I get it occasionally, but nowhere near like I used to, and I used to be like him. So yeah, we're getting some good sleep, so that is the most important thing. So next up I have a series of things, well it's a thing but I've got several of them to show you, but that I bought Andrew again for Christmas and birthday last year, well birthday earlier this year and Christmas last year. I bought these. So Andrew is the sort of person that likes to be challenged mentally. He loves a puzzle, but 9 times out of 10 if you buy a standard puzzle or something that you know, the puzzles that you do with your hands that you try and, you know, take 3 rings apart and things like that, he'll do them in a matter of minutes, and I've yet to find something that really challenges him, that he finds difficult, and he wants those sorts of things. It's just how the way his mind works. So I looked up on Amazon and I found these, and this brand is called Huzzle, and there are loads and loads of these. I think he's had about 6 or 7 now, different ones. They aren't cheap. I think they're about £10–15 each, but they are good quality, and each one has taken him, some of them have taken him a couple of days to master, and this was over Christmas time when we weren't working and we were at home, and some have taken him around a week or so to master, and he's obviously been doing them a lot all evening. It's like chink, 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 chink while he's trying to work out how to do them, and it's hard enough to work out how to get the things apart, but you've then got to work out how to put them back together again as well, which is just as difficult. So it's sort of 2 puzzles in one. So these are all, so this is, in fact I haven't got this one, but I've got this one, which is, you can see they're all metal, they're really, really well made. You can't pull them apart, you know, you can't force them, you have to find the correct way of doing it. I've had a go, I haven't been able to do any of them. I'm not quite as patient as he is. We've got this one, which is a slightly different one. That might be the one that's from the box. I think that might be that one. And then there's this one, which is like a star thingy. I mean, there's loads. This one. And they're all, you've got to sort of take them apart and get them, yeah, and separate them and then work out how to put them back together again. But they are so good. So if you have, and all of them have like a rating, a level on them. So they've got stars. So that one is a 6-star one. So that is the most difficult one you can get. They have 1 star, 2 stars. So if you want to work up, if you're at home a lot at the moment, or it's on holidays, if you've got kids that love puzzles, teenagers, these are awesome. And yeah, really good quality and fantastic presents, you know, especially like stocking fillers and things. If you're at that point where you're thinking about stocking up for Christmas, then these might be the sort of things you want to give, certainly teens and young adults as well. And yeah, I think they're brilliant. So I can thoroughly recommend those. Moving on to a slightly more technical thing, I purchased this actually for work because one of our clients was recording some videos in their gym, and they needed, the sound quality was quite poor. They were just recording on a phone, and the sound quality was quite poor. So I researched and purchased this for them, and now it's come back to me and I've been using it. But this is a Lavalier microphone, lapel microphone, and we've used it quite a bit. I've used it in voiceovers on my videos. We've used it for Phoebe, who had to record a song for a video that her dance school were doing, and it just means that when you're recording on a phone, you can just literally plug it straight into the phone and then put it onto your lapel, and you can obviously get a better quality of voice. I also plug it into my Mac as well when I'm doing voiceovers, but it's just better. It's just nice to have it on your lapel, so you don't want to hold anything or have a mic sort of in front of you. It's just here, and yeah, it's been really, really good. I think it was about $17.99 or something like that, so it wasn't really expensive. So if you do record videos or anything like that, or you need something and you're recording on your phone at all, then I would thoroughly recommend one of these. So they come really small. You can get them with different lengths of cord as well. I think this one has got a 6-meter cable, yeah, 6-meter cord length on it, so that, you know, the camera could be quite far away and you can still be attached to it. There are some with much shorter if you're just doing video like this one is now. But yeah, this is one of my best buys, definitely. I'm really, really pleased with this. And yeah, so if you make videos, then that might be something you'd like to use. And last but not least, I thought I would talk about the string lights that we have purchased for our pergola in the garden. You may have seen a picture on Instagram. I'm going to put one here of our pergola with all the lights lit up. So I got these for the pergola I wanted. You can obviously get solar lights, but I find that they don't really give that much light, if you like. So I wanted ones that plugged in, and we're quite fortunate that we've got an upstairs French windows that open up, that we'd be able to put the plug into and plug in, so that we can have them switched on without needing an exterior socket. So that's been really good. But yeah, I struggle to find, these lights are particularly good because you can add on. So there are 25, I think, lights on this particular set, and I need to get some more because there wasn't quite enough to go around. It just sort of goes around the edge, but I wanted them to go backwards and forwards across. But I've also put on fairy lights now anyway, so I might just leave them as they are. But you can extend them, so you can buy another set and plug them together to make 50 lights to go around. So if you've got a long area, if you want to do festoon lighting around your fencing or something like that, then they're ideal, because you can keep adding on as many as you like. Because what I found was the lights that were, you know, if I wanted 100 lights, you were looking at like £150. They were so expensive. And I thought, I really can't justify spending that sort of money just on lights for the garden. So these ones were perfect. I thought, I can just buy these for now, and if I want to add on in the future, I can do. Yeah, I love them. They're perfect lights, and they're soft lighting, because we have got some bright white lighting on the front of the house that we have at Christmas time. We don't have it on all year round, but it is there all year round. But in the garden, I wanted something much softer and, you know, to give a nice ambient feeling. So we have loved having them there, and it's really cozy and lovely sitting out there with the lights on. So I would thoroughly recommend those. So I hope you enjoyed my top 10 Amazon buys for me. I mean, obviously different people purchase different things from Amazon, but these were just, they're all very random, but they're things that we have really used a lot and have really benefited from within our lives. So I just thought I would share them with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you're not already, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.